All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, the bishops and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations unto the elect of YAHWAH, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the AHTHAM out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and prophesying through the spirit of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI in truth and sincerity. Salakia, I need to, let me make sure. Once again, I got the mic plugged up today, so I don't even know if it's been picking any of that up. You know, let's see. Maybe it has, I don't know. But if it hasn't, you know, I'll just do the intro again and just, you know, shorten it up. But just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM QADASH. Yahweh been the true name of the Heavenly Father, YAHWASHI been the true name of his only begotten Son. Blessings and salutations unto the elect, also double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. And I'm going to just jump straight into it. So oftentimes, you know, I come to the Edom online and there will be a, you know, the trending words. I had a web page up. It must have been from some days ago because this whole list didn't change, you know. But one of the words on the previous list was sacrifice, which is one thing that we have to do in this truth, right? We have to give things up, all right? And when you go into the word a little bit, as you can see, the offering of something, especially a life to a deity as an act of propitiation or homage. That which is offered to a deity is sacrifice, offering. And that what it pretty much comes down to, a sacrifice and an offering. All right. I don't really like using the term deity, but, you know, all in all, making a sacrifice unto the Most High. We have different sacrifices, you know, trespass offerings, sin offerings. We have our atonements, free will offerings, you know, these ability to give up things, the first fruits. All right, the firstborn, okay, and it hollows them, okay. Let me see, because when you look into well, we can just click it here. That wasn't, yeah, sacred, yeah. It says hallowed, consecrated, or made holy by association with divinity or divine things, or by religious ceremony or sanctions to make holy, right? And all in all, through the Spirit, it'll be us that's made holy. It'll be us that's sacred, right? Because it also means what? Set apart. All right. It'll be us that's dedicated, okay? Or dedicated, rather. Once we give these things up, because the purpose of it is salvation, you know. Lord willing, this is still recording. You know, maybe I should open this up. So of course, going into Romans, the 12th chapter, right? It says, I beseech you, I'm gonna get the NLT with it, just, you know, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, right? Acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Okay. Your reasonable service. So let's get into a couple of these words, because sacrifice is tough, you know. You get comfortable with things, you get used to things, you get complacent, right? But in order to get better, in order to grow, you got to sacrifice, you know. Let me see. Yep, we'll get the Greek for it. All right, you got let's see what they say.
Strong's G 2378. Thusia.
And it says, you know, sacrifice or victim, just straight to the point. Let's see what the root says, if it's anything. To sacrifice and immolate, to slay, kill, of the paschal lamb, to slaughter. Yeah, and that's what, like, if the scriptures speak about the old man in old ways dying, right, and becoming a new creature, then something has to die. In order for you to receive a new life, there has to be an old life that was sacrificed. There has to be something that died. And even with the new covenant, you know, Is that what it? Let me double check. Let me see. I want to just make sure I'm speaking on that properly. I know it's in Hebrews. It says by blood. Let me see. It's Hebrews 9 and I'll go to 11. It says, but Hamashiach being coming high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us, because he sacrificed himself. He gave up his life, all right, so that we can enter into this better covenant, right, which is the new covenant. It says, for if the blood of bulls and of goats and ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Hamashiach, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power. And that's also another thing. When the sin that's death. Sin leads to death, man. All right. That's why through the Spirit we were reborn. Okay. And us being reborn, we're living and keeping those commandments to our best ability. Right? Now, ultimately, salvation is going to come by faith. But faith in who? And faith in what? YAHWASHI. All right, and their promises and the judgment and the works, man. All right, because if you're just doing it because other people are doing it and you have no faith, then it's null and void. All right. So let me go back over there to Romans. I do kind of want to get a little bit more into that. I don't even know where it is. Okay. So back into the Romans. I want to get a couple more words. All right, because we got the sacrifice. It says a body is a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable. Let's see what acceptable says. Well pleasing, acceptable. Is there a root? I know that means pleasing or agreeable. Yeah. Hey, it says without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that do good works, if I'm not mistaken. You know, let me see if I can I think it's Hebrews 11 and 6. Yeah. 11 Hebrews 11 and 6. Oh, a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. There we go. Kind. And it says it's impossible to please him without faith. All right. So you have to have faith in YAHWASHI. He requires that, you know. You gotta believe in the Son, you gotta believe in the Father. Can't believe in one without the other, man. All right, it says this is your reasonable service. All right, let's see what reasonable says. It says pertaining to speech or speaking, pertaining to the reason of logic, spiritual, pertaining to the soul, agreeable to reason, following reason, reasonable, logical. And the thing is, what's the reasoning? His ways, right? We're not negotiating here, but we're signing the contract in a sense, you know. This is we agree to do it the way that he wants it done. We work for him. We are a servant. It said reasonable service. If you're giving a service, you're serving someone. You're being a minister unto someone. It's not about you. You know, just like through the Spirit, when we hit the highways and the byways, we're giving out the Lord's product, right? We're not doing it how we want to. When people often do that, they often go back into the world, because the Lord needs able men. He need men that can put out that word like he needs it put out, to speak to the people in truth and sincerity, to warn the people, to uplift the people, not to say this is a black only thing and Latinos and Native Americans aren't a part of it. This, like, no, that don't even make sense. There's people that look like Edomites out here who got all kind of soul and spirit in them, man. I don't know what I was spelling. I don't think I was spelling quickening. So going into 2 Corinthians, I might get both. This is 2 Corinthians 5:17. Says, therefore, if I go up one, it says, wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh. Yea, though we have known Hamashiach after the flesh, yet now henceforth know we him no more. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And that's where you change your ways. You repent and you change your ways. Okay? There's another precept it says about the old man. I want to get that passed away though. Alright. So we got to go pass by persons moving forward. Yeah, are you going backwards or are you moving forward? If you enter the straight gate, you gotta go forward. Ain't no turning back. It's too narrow. It's too many people behind you. The only way off is left or right, which is the fire or the water. One on the right, one on the left. That's the only way. You either can jump off or you keep moving forward, man. You signed up for this through the Spirit. In act, continuing for a time, metaphor, to pass away, to perish. Old things are perished, meaning they die. And it says that I'm like all over with the scriptures right now, but I'm trying to get them. I'm kind of like rushing. I gotta go to work in a little bit, but I'm about to do this lesson. Let me see how it's worded. Oh wow. Let me see. Second Timothy 2:11. Let's see what you got. Yeah. This is 2 Corinthians. I'll go to 8. 2 Corinthians. 2 Timothy 2:8. Remember that Yahawashi Mashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffered trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of the Most High is not bound, not at all. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahawashi with eternal glory. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. And how is that being dead with him? Making those sacrifices, right? Giving up what you want to do. All right. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. All right. So it's up to us to believe for the most part. Like ultimately, it's up to YAHWASHI. But once you in here, you got work to do. You got responsibility to do. All right. So yeah, as it said, man, that the old ways gotta perish. Let me see. Oh man, I cannot think of how that precept go. 43. The prophecy came. Oh man. For the man was above, therefore if the man be Hamashiach. Dang. I can't think of exactly how it is, but I did want to get something else though, because this also come with the with those sacrifices, right? This is First Peter's chapter 4 verse 3. It says, "For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries." Yeah, you was doing what you was living your life. You was living your life. No restrictions, no boundaries, right? You might have had some standards, but it wasn't according to the standards of YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. All right. It says, "Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you." So they start to judge you according to the change that you made. "Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit." And that's what it is, you know. But hey, we make these sacrifices. You know, I hear from my family, you don't do this and come around and this and that. You know, I'll be there if I can. You know, I try to tell them that I'll be there if I can. But most of the time, all they hear is the bros, the bros, the bros, the bros. And that's what it is, man. All right, because at the end of the day, my family is not going to care if I'm going off or not, you know. I've been in situations and bros have shown up more than my family. All right. Let alone when it pertains to my salvation. You know, I call one of my family members like, "Man, I was tempted to eat some pork." "Yeah, I ain't gonna fire it up." You know, it's like, wait. So, you know, brothers be like, "Yo, you fucking wildin'." You know, they'll tell you what it is to, you know, pull you out of that fire, you know, and just using that as an example. But whatever it is. All right. You come to brothers with your problems. That's why you see counsel. You know, some things we don't even see we need to sacrifice, but another brother might see it. You know, they might mention it to us. And once they mention it to us, hey, take heed. Because sometimes we so into ourselves, we can't see it, man. You know. But I'm going to end it there for time's sake. You know, I just wanted to do, you know, hit the button real quick. But we got to make those sacrifices, you know. There's many scriptures that's going through my head, too. But, you know, making those sacrifices. And I got to get one more. I seen a video earlier today, too. And she was speaking about, you know, when you lose things, you gain more. And that's very roughly paraphrasing what she said. She said it in a way better way. But just, you know, not going word for word. When you lose, you gain more, man. You know, just like losing a fight or losing anything. You learn from that, you know, and it gives you motivation. You know what I'm saying? Once you give up something that you didn't think you can give up, and then you see the results, it's like, oh, man. You know, it's golden after that. So this is Sirach 4:11. It says, "For there's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame which is glory and grace." All right. So some people you have to get rid of. Some things you have to get rid of. But don't be ashamed by it, because if you keep it attached to you, it could cause you to sin. You know. But if you let it says, "And there is a shame which is glory and grace." But if you feel bad for having those things around, or feel like those things are stunting your growth or keeping you back or holding you back, whatever the case is, all right, and you let it go, hey, that's unto glory and grace, man. All right, serving YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI is a shame unto glory and grace, because people will judge us. They will say whatever they want to say, but who cares, you know? We're in this to serve YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. We're not here to please man. All right. So we have to make sure we understand that through the Spirit. All right. So Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.